Good morning, dearly beloved of God. This morning, I like us to look at the place of love in marriage. The place of love in marriage. The word love is a very powerful force. Song of Solomon says that it is stronger than death. It's as strong as death. And everything in the world centers on love. Movies, stories, life. Everyone loves love. There is nobody that rejects love. So love, and as a matter of fact, God is love. So that tells you the potency of love. If you want a peaceful marriage, you need love. Yes, you need love. Now, the truth of the matter is that many of us don't love our spouse. You might say, no, that is not true. But don't worry. How do you know that you don't really love your spouse? Number one, when you overreact, love is lacking. Water poured on the floor. Who did this? The gravity at which you explain the event that just occurred. And your spouse begin to wonder what is happening. It's lack of love. Have you ever sat down to tell yourself the truth, like the basic truth of everything you've done to Jesus? He has never one day sat you down to analyze it, to explain it. But instead, he forgives you even before the act is being carried out. Why not reciprocate it to your spouse? You're overreacting. And that kind of act, it makes your spouse to go back to their shell. They don't tell you things anymore. They're not feeling you. Once you come back, everybody's shaking. It ought not to be so, sir. It ought not to be so, man. That you are busy as a woman or as a man does not mean that you should not have time for your wife or for your husband. Love is affection. And when there's affection, there will be attention. Sometimes you need to tell your spouse to sit down, look them in the eye, and tell them, I love you. At that point, there's a chemistry that takes place. You are gradually losing your spouse without knowing because you are pursuing what? Money or fame? No, sir. No, ma'am. Love is everything. Everything. You can be busy and yet they feel the love impact in the room. Number two, how do you know you lack love? When your spouse start irritating you. This one might look so funny, but it's the truth. There are some spouse now, if they should do an altar call of who wants to renounce their wife and their husband, and they give you opportunity, in all sincere form, you'll be the first to come out. Because honestly, you are tired. Nothing seems to interest you about your spouse. If this go, I met a woman that said, my husband, yeah, I'm tired though. Let's just be living like that. When we are old, I'll go for Mungu and live in our home. That is not how it's supposed to be. Petting on your children because you're not having the love you deserve from your husband or your wife is not the solution. All right, quickly. How do I walk in love? Solution is better than the problem, right? Yes. How do I walk in love? Number one, by starting. Faith is now. It doesn't matter your behavior in the past. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It doesn't matter how terrible you were as a husband, as a wife. Those are not important in the eyes of God. God is much interested in your today and also in your future. Your past is nothing to write home about. So don't judge yourself that I've not been loving my spouse. Start now. And love is for expression. You don't expect love, you express it. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave. Give that affection. Give that care. Give that love is not harsh. Give that tenderness. Give that atmosphere of joy. You cannot lose when you're a giver. Because most times when you expect too much, the devil will use that as a weapon to fight your home. Or he went out, he did not even say I love you. He didn't even kiss me. He didn't even do this. Why not start doing it? Marriage is for expression and not for expectation. Because when you express, you cannot be deceived by the devil. And most times, what you give is what you get. When you give love, you will always get love in return. And most times, it's more profiting to be the carrier of the love, to be the one dispensing the love. You can't get dry. Jesus gave, Jesus came to die for you and I. We are not saying you should die for your spouse, but what we are saying, express, let them know that you love them. It will show. Most times, men and women, they tend to be so loving when there is money, things are going on fine. Fine. But have you seen your spouse in their worst state and yet you say, I love you? Is there a reason not to love your spouse and you say, I don't know why, but I just love you? That's agape kind of love. That's a Christ kind of love. If they should sack your husband from work today, do you still love him? Love is not tied to resources. Love is just love. I don't know why I love you, but I just love you. There should not be any reason for loving your spouse. If you love them because they have pointed nose, what if the day the nose gets broken? Then the love dies off. Love should be without condition. I just love you. Till Jesus come, I just love you. If you love your spouse because they have straight leg, what if the day they have accident and the leg is being amputated? Then the love dies. But when there is no reason to love, and yet you choose to love, you are in for a peaceful marriage. Because at that point, there is no pranks or lies of the devil that can make you shift your ground. And that is how Jesus loves us. Even while we are yet sinner, he just loved us. Despite everything they did to him on the cross, he didn't feel anything. Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. You are begging the Father to please forgive them. You don't want him to unleash his anger on them, but they are inflicting you. But you say, Father, please forgive them. Love will always hide multitude of sin. Yes, perhaps your spouse have done so many things that have hurt you, but love will always let go. Love is so quick to forgive and starting afresh. Philippians 2:13 said, forget the past. Is affecting your present mood with your spouse. Fine, they missed it yesterday, but that is past. You can start afresh today. You can make a heaven out of your home. It is possible. If God has not given up on you, you shouldn't give up on your spouse. Love your spouse. Love them. And the next way to walk in love is to enjoy intimacy. Intimacy was created by God as a platform through which your love is being cemented like a concrete to make your home solid and firm. It is true, men love sex more than women, and sometimes look as if you don't want it. But when you love, as you are giving the intimacy to them, you are also enjoying it. Because one proof that you are no longer loving your spouse is when intimacy becomes a challenge. Intimacy is meant by God to help solidify your home and to ensure that both hearts start beating as one. Yes. So ensure that you have constant intimacy. The Bible said, even when you are fasting, come back immediately so that the devil will not tempt you. Intimacy helps to foster love and it helps to make both of you's heart to be start beating as one. It doesn't matter what you have been through. What is most important is how you should be. And I'm telling you that love is as strong as death. Practice love today, and you will see that your home will enjoy the peace of God. The best way to love your spouse, remember, is when there is no reason to love at all. And yet you say, I love you. Where there is love, the devil cannot penetrate. God bless you. I'll see you testify.